Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is April 13th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery, and you can see the storm system off the coast of California. This is going to be spreading moisture and thunderstorms back across Oregon, maybe even creeping up into Washington, Idaho at times over the next couple of days. We'll take a look at those details as we go through the video. And we've got another system out here across Alaska. It's going to drop down towards the Pacific Northwest. We'll take a look at what kind of impacts that is going to have as well. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast. Looks like we might warm up a bit. Also, you can also see some fog that was out there across some of the Puget Sound this morning as well, and some fog out eastern Oregon and eastern Washington, Idaho as well. And you can kind of see the nice snow-capped mountains there on the GOES 18 satellite imagery all the way up across the Rockies of Alberta and British Columbia. Now, taking a look here, I backed this up. Let's go all the way back towards yesterday, and I want to show you what came up across Oregon yesterday. Look at some of this activity here, and let's make sure we have the actual lightning flashes on there, and we do. And check out some of these prolific lightning producers. They moved up across Oregon and some of southwest Idaho there. A couple of those got into southeast Washington. I mean, and yeah, hundreds of lightning strikes there yesterday. And we're going to do something similar again today. You can kind of see the pivot and the southeasterly flow up here. So watch out across some of the eastern foothills there, or the east slopes of the Cascades of Oregon there, especially for some severe thunderstorms, some gusty winds, some severe hail possible also, and some prolific lightning producing storms will be going on this afternoon, and potentially multiple rounds of it too as we go on in through tomorrow morning. More on that here in a moment. And just a heads up, you can do the Skywarn spotter trainings online here. So check out, they have dates upcoming, and you can do these online, like I said. So check out the website there, National Weather Service, Seattle, Washington. Nice graphic here. And just a heads up, especially across Oregon for today and probably again to tomorrow, and maybe portions of Idaho as well, and extreme southern Washington. Watch out for that dangerous lightning. You really increase your chances of getting struck when you are outside, especially. And yeah, so heads up for that. When thunder roars, go indoors. Now, taking a look at whether severe storms are possible, check it out. You're looking at Silver Lake, Bend, Redmond, Madras, Princeville, Fossil. You guys, heads up, eyes on the sky today. And some of these could be creeping back out towards the I-5 corridor into western Oregon as well. And then we've got another day as we go through Sunday. General thunderstorm risk as of right now. Now, taking a look at Spokane National Weather Service, this will be the system that's dropping down out of the north and west. This is for late Sunday into Monday and probably on in through Tuesday as well. We're going to have some strong west winds coming down the east slopes of the Cascades, and I'll show you what other potential impacts this is going to have as well with as far as western Washington is concerned, and a cooler air mass dropping down across some portions of Idaho and Montana also. And check it out, afternoon temperatures, Great Falls, Montana. This is going to be a big shock to the system here as this cold air mass comes rolling down here as we go on in through the early portion of next week. So enjoy these warm temperatures, but be prepared for the big change that is incoming. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station to record all the crazy weather we get here in the Pacific Northwest, click on that link down below to save 10% off. I like this weather station. It's got a great smartphone app with it as well. Now, taking a look at the European, this is last night's run. There's a storm off the coast of California. That's going to be spreading this thunderstorm threat here for the next couple of days. And we're going to get a couple warm days. And I'll take a look at some of these temperatures here as we go for some areas of Washington, especially in some of BC here, going to be remaining free of a lot of these clouds from this storm system off to the south. So kind of a big contrast what you're going to get across Oregon today versus Washington and British Columbia. But then the next system comes rolling down here as we go on in through Monday. And this is going to bring a pretty good pressure gradient with it as well. Maybe some convergent zone activity, a little bit of mountain snow, but the gusty winds, especially across the eastern portions of the Cascades of Washington, Oregon, are going to be the big story, as well as the cooler air mass moving down across Montana. And then we start to build a ridge as we go towards the end of next week, and we could really warm up as we head off into the following weekend. More on that here in a bit. I also like to show the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is at 18,000 feet. You can kind of see that bowling ball of cold air right off the coast of California. And then you'll see this pivot off to the east, and the next system comes swinging down through British Columbia here. And that's what's going to have that tight pressure gradient with it and bring that cooler air mass down across the region and cool us down for a couple days. And we're going to bounce back with that ridge moving in here on through next week. So you can also see this at 5,000 feet, the storm system right off the coast of California here. And you can kind of see the next system roar down in here, and the coolest coast air probably headed for portions of Montana coming up. And then we start to warm up here across a lot of the Pacific Northwest as we go on in towards the end of next week. So looking at the composite reflectivity, this is what the Doppler radar may look like as we go through the day today. As we head on into the afternoon hours, you'll see some of this precipitation moving across western Oregon, but watch these storms develop. These are going to be the strongest storms as we go through Saturday afternoon. Prolific lightning producers here. Watch out, Bend, Oregon, eyes on the sky today when thunder roars go indoors. There are going to be hundreds of lightning strikes with this action as it moves up across Nevada into Oregon, probably multiple rounds, as you can see again, as we're going in through very early Sunday morning. Some more thunderstorm activity likely, especially across some of the Cascades and the foothills, eastern Oregon, on through Sunday morning. And watch as we scroll on in through Sunday afternoon as well. We're probably going to have thunderstorm activity in this area as well. You can see some of these heavier showers popping up there also all the way on in through Sunday evening before the next system starts swinging down here. Then you can see some of this convergent zone signature showing up as we go through the day. Monday, some mountain snows and some gusty winds across the Pacific Northwest. We'll be rolling in with that one. And looking at 10,000 feet, 700 millibars, you can see the storm off the coast of California rolling and spinning, bringing that thunderstorm activity for the next couple of days. And then you can see it swoop down into the Pacific Northwest. The colder air is starting to arrive. Now look at some of the winds here with this with these upcoming systems. So first, let's look at the thunderstorm activity here today. You can see there's going to be some gusty winds out there. So watch out, kind of your erratic, outflowy winds from some of this thunderstorm activity as you go through the afternoon and on in through tonight. And then what I want you to focus on is the pickup of these winds across Oregon, Washington, down the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Pretty good westerly surge there as we go on in through tomorrow night. You see the convergent zone signature as it wraps around the Olympic Mountains here. And you can check out one of my educational videos where I talk about the convergent zone in detail if you like. You can see the northwest winds coming down the Strait of Georgia here as well. And this is going to go on in through into Monday morning here. And then we kind of keep this wind going all the way on in through Monday afternoon. So watch out. Could be some blowing dust and some gusty winds out there across eastern Washington and Oregon. Now taking a look at total snow, good share ratio in inches. It's a pretty chilly system rolling down here, so we'll take a look. But it is a bit moisture starved. You can see we are getting some of that convergent zone signature for some enhanced amounts across some of the central Cascades here. But again, mainly across the higher peaks. Snow quality could get an inch or two depending on just where that convergent zone sets up. And you can also see some snow with this system spinning across California that moves back up into Oregon here as we go on in through tomorrow. Now, taking a look at total precipitation in inches, you'll notice that a lot of this precipitation is from the thunderstorm activity over the next couple of days. And that spreads up towards the Blue Mountains, Idaho, and then you can see the next system rolling down here. But this is not a big precipitation maker. I mean, look, it doesn't really show much for the lowlands of western Washington and British Columbia or down towards Portland or anything by the time this system has moved out. So it's kind of a moisture-starved system. But the gusty winds, the big story with that, maybe a little bit of mountain snow. Now, taking a look at the temperature. So this is for today, Saturday. You can kind of see how the temperatures are going to be held down a little bit here across some of the Cascades and southwest Oregon. And then we warm up a little bit for Seattle tomorrow. Not bad. Look at this. Some 80s starting to show up for eastern Washington. And then we cool down with the arrival of that next system. You can see Seattle dropping back down to 55, some 50s for the Willamette Valley as well. And then we go through Tuesday, and you notice by Wednesday we start to bounce back some of these temperatures. Check it out by the time we get towards Thursday. Friday, look at some 70s all the way up maybe to southwest BC here and into eastern Washington, Oregon. Look at the Willamette Valley really ramping up the heat here as we go through Friday and Saturday. Some nice days maybe incoming here with that ridge. You can see how the temperatures really warm up into some of the valley areas into British Columbia this time of year. Also up the Fraser River Valley here, Okanagan River Valley, and interesting stuff. Now, taking a look at, I pulled this up, the probability of 2-meter max temperatures exceeding 70 degrees. So we're going to scroll way ahead here, and we're going to check out what it looks like next week. So here we go into Thursday. You can kind of see the probability start to increase for western Oregon up into western Washington. As we get towards Friday, you'll see them really increase all the way up into southwest BC here. So we are looking at a potential warm-up next week, and this could be for Saturday. So maybe we'll be looking at a very nice weekend also. Cross your fingers for that. Looking at the 8 to 14 day above average signal across much of the west. There's the below average signal there for some of the coastal areas here and up into the Pacific Northwest for below average precipitation. And I kind of backed up and reversed what I should have been showing this, but this is 6 to 10 day above average for much of the west coast. And below average signal fairly strong here as we go through the next few days. As you saw, that next system not bringing much in the way of precipitation to the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, Interesting stuff. Eyes on the sky. Oregon today. A couple rounds of some powerful thunderstorms, prolific lightning producers, some big hail and some gusty winds also. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. I considered going down there and chasing. It is a kind of a long drive for me coming out of Seattle. So I'll probably just kind of watch the satellite imagery today. But tomorrow should be another day. And it might be some photogenic thunderstorms out and about there tomorrow as well. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. We will do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.